Hi everyone, welcome back to Hope and Coffee. I'm Hope and with me is Coffee, and today I found this article and it is on Board Panda. If y'all have ever been on Board Panda, it has some of the most random things on there, and sometimes it's lists of things, but this is a particular article that I think is about, like, it's one of those, like, am I the asshole? And I'm just reading the title and I'm like, no, definitely this guy is not. However, the particular topic is about how this new neighbor thinks that, okay, it's like, here it is. It's like, I am the owner of a great Pyrenees/Australian cattle dog named Charlotte, who is a 6-year-old female. This is the dog. And I live in a lower middle class suburb in an unspecified area of the United States. I have lived here for about a year, and I let Charlotte out to go potty roughly 6 or so times a day. It's always the same routine. About a week or two ago, maybe a little longer, and I am being abbreviating this just a little bit. New neighbors moved in and across the back alleyway. And this individual had no intention of ever interacting with them. But yet one day he let his dog out and he called for the dog, and the person across the alley yelled out, "Why are you calling for my neighbor?" Or "Why are you calling for my daughter?" And at first they thought it might just be the new neighbors getting into a spat, until a couple minutes later they heard a pounding on their front door. They open the door to an angry man who's about twice their size, glaring down, saying, why the F? And they say EFF. "Are you calling my daughter into your house?" And I respond, "Your daughter's name is Charlotte?" And he just kept glaring at him. In the absence of response, I follow up with, "My dog's name is Charlotte, dude." And he just rolled his eyes at me and said, "I better change my dog's name," because he doesn't want his daughter, who's a 2-year-old female, getting confused and running into my, like, apparently the new neighbor, like the neighbor's house. So he's wondering if he's the asshole for not changing his dog's name because this new neighbor who moved in a week ago is irate now about this. And so he thinks, so there's a TLDR, which is too long didn't read, which says, "I think it's unfair that this father demands I change my dog's name because he chose the same name for his kid," and then rudely and unnecessarily reacted, "but on the other hand, humans think humans have priority over dogs for just about everything." But he reached out to the netizens, which is the net citizens, if he is being an asshole over not changing the name of his dog. And it actually reminded me of another, I think, "Am I the asshole?" comment, or I think it was maybe "Choosing Beggars" on Reddit that I had run across not too long ago and could have been reposted or what have you. It could have been a lot longer than that. But an individual was reached out to by someone on Facebook that she only knew very tangentially, because the person who reached out was going to name their kid, I think, Tilly, and the person who she reached out to had a dog named Tilly, and she wanted to see if that person would change her dog's name because she did not want this new child, who was not yet even born, to have the same name as a dog. And of course, this person, who's literally barely an acquaintance at best, was like, "No thank you, have a good day." The expectant mother was pretty much irate that this other pretty much stranger would not change her dog's name because she wanted to claim ownership of this name. And I feel like this is, like, apparently this is not uncommon. So I'm just wondering, I'm really wanting some thoughts on this, because we can scroll down on this Board Panda article and we can see very clearly through many of these posts and reposts that many people have told this guy, no, you're not the asshole. No, you are totally in the clear. No, and please keep an eye out for your dog. Please make sure that you have a camera and that this guy can't like do anything to your dog. He sounds unhinged, etc., etc. Because even though it sounds far-fetched, he sounds crazy enough to do all sorts of things. And at this particular point, if this guy's only been in the neighborhood for like a week and he acted this irately over a guy who has a dog named the same thing as his daughter, like, that's a little weird. Like, most people would be like, oh, dude, I'm sorry, my bad, and then kind of move on. But, like, why is your 2-year-old in her yard by herself? Like, that's also a little weird too, right? Like, that doesn't sound too safe. I don't know. If she's in her backyard, safe, sound, and I still feel like a 2-year-old maybe shouldn't be alone in her backyard by herself. And if you just hear someone calling for their dog, like, your 2-year-old probably shouldn't get confused by that. And plus, how's she gonna go into someone else's yard? Especially if it seems as though they apparently are fenced in. So I'm just saying, like, do you guys feel like the dad was in the right to go over there and complain that this guy whose dog has been named Charlotte Longer should change his dog's name? Or do you think that the dog owner was in the right? Because I feel 100% for the dog owner. I also name my dogs usually after Greek and Roman mythologies, so I feel like I may not run across this issue, but you never know. It's very possible that one day I will run across somebody who is like, whose kids may be named Argos or Leonidas, but I mean, there was a Spartan named Leonidas, so it's possible. But also with the article regarding Tilly and asking pretty much a complete stranger to change their dog's name because they don't want it to possibly come up anyway in a conversation. Is that appropriate too? And I think there was even something again, possibly on Reddit, where someone did not believe that they thought someone was stealing someone's identity because their name was the same as their son's name. And so the person reached out and they're like, why are you using my son's name? And they're like, this is my name. It's like, two people can't have the same name. And they're like, my son is 6. Are you stealing his identity? And it's like, no, this is my name. What are you talking about? And I don't even remember the name that was being argued over. The dude just had an honestly fairly generic sounding name, and the guy must have also had a